This is Alma, Missouri by Celobuki. It's 609.11 megabytes to download. There is one required mod for you to download to be able to play the map. That is Workshop, also by Celobuki. That will download automatically when you start downloading this map. That's if you don't already have it installed. The description is fairly long, so I'm just going to read the first paragraph there. It says, "Welcome to Alma, Missouri. This map is based on the small beautiful town of Alma in the state of Missouri, US. The vast majority of buildings, residential and commercial, on the main street are modelled after real buildings found in the city, as well as traffic signs. Everything else I'll kind of cover in the map tour as we go round. So, let's go and check it out." And here we are. This is where you start off in all three modes. This is the map. So this was on FS25, so if you guys played it on there, you'll be very familiar with it. There's a couple of things that are slightly different, a couple of things that are missing as well from 22, whether they get updated and brought in. So I think we had alfalfa on FS25, that's not on here. I'm pretty sure you could produce pumpkin pie. You can't at the moment, so whether that will get added later on, I'm not quite sure. But this is the map. We are down here. I'm in new farmer mode. I've given ourselves $1 million to start with because I need to buy a couple of plots of land, but we do have that luxury now of giving yourself whatever sort of money you want, which is good. So like I say, new farmer mode. If we scroll across to the top, this is what we start off owning. So we've got the main farm, which does come with this field 1, which is pretty hefty, like so. 575 grand that's going to cost you in the other two modes, but it is a decent sized field. That you've got plot 39, that's a grass field I believe, 126,000, and then this field here 209,000, like so. The rest of the map, as you can see, the prices are going to vary. Big, medium, small fields. So down here 1.3 million, got some smaller guys there. 33,000, there's a small field up there. 29 grand, like so. So it's going to vary. 467. There's only one forestry plot to buy. That is this little fella here. Just over 23 grand, so you're not going to make a huge amount of money. But some of these fields, they do have, as we go around, you'll see got some trees sort of mixed in and amongst them, and around the outside edges you might be able to do something with some of them along the lines. But that is it for there. We will need to buy 2 more plots. They're the other 2 farms, but we'll do that in a second. We'll go through slot counts and mods and everything first, I think, as we go. So I'm going to go up into this menu. If we go to statistics, there is 25 collectibles. Not quite sure what they are. I haven't come across any yet. I'm a sort of like whiz round like I did earlier. Productions, we don't start off owning any, but these are the ones that are available on the map. I like this feature now where we can actually see the recipes and what's required, etc., and what you can produce. Saves a lot of hassle when doing a map tour. So we do have the bakery. As you can see in there, we can produce apple pie. Apart from that, it's a standard bakery. So you can get apples from greenhouses. I'll show you those in a second that we can place down. That's been added into the map. The BGA, now, it doesn't produce electricity, but it will produce methane. We can collect the methane and we can sell the methane on the map. There is a sell point specific for it. You will need a special modded in tanker though, which I'll show you in a moment as well. Do have a corn dryer where you can bring your corn and dry your corn. That will need propane. You can see on the recipe there. Again, you can buy propane on the map. I'll show you that as we go round. The dairy, I believe, is just standard. Nothing different about that. In the grain mill, there's a couple of extra things there. We can produce corn flour. That's basically just putting in corn, turn it into corn flour. And then we can produce fine corn flour. So you need to take your dried corn, and that will produce fine corn flour. You can produce ketchup. That's just tomatoes and water. And then we've got a pizzeria, so we can produce pizza. You're going to need flour, ketchup, and cheese for that. popcorn production, 2 recipes. You can have butter popcorn. You're going to need dried corn and butter, and then we just got a standard popcorn, and that is just dry corn like so. Sawmill just standard, and the tailor shop is just standard as well. So there is our productions. Contracts are available on the fields we don't own. Some of them are probably going to be very good at paying out because the fields are quite big. Do start off with some animals. So we've got a few chickens, different ages in our chicken pasture. We've got some cows, which is nice, again all different ages in our cow barn. In our sheep barn we've got a mixture of goats and sheep, which is nice, again all different ages. And then we also have 5 horses in our horse stable, which you'll see as we go around the farm. There's no custom crops, like I said. No alfalfa, or I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other extra crops on 22, but whether they get added in a later date I don't know. But that is it for that, guys. So I think we'll go through mods and things like that. If I scroll down to here, we've got a couple that are specific for the map, and they are vehicle sort of wise equipment. It's these 2 tankers. So you've got the bigger and the smaller one. They've been modded in because they will hold propane and methane. So you're going to need one of these guys to grab those. But I will talk you through that a little bit later. Other mods, obviously we've got the workshop that is the required mod, but there is a couple more that are specific to the map. So in sheds, if we scroll down, there's your workshop like so. We've got a couple of barns and garages up the top as well. As you can see, it says Alma, Missouri mod, so that's specific for the map, whereas that is our workshop. If we go to silos and scroll down, we've got this silo here. That's 400,000. It's quite a small one. I think that's the one up at the pig farm, which you'll see as we go round. And then if we scroll across to farmhouses, we do have a couple of farmhouses down the bottom. It's just the bottom 2 like so. And then I think we need to go to factories and scroll down. We've got the corn dryer and we've got the grey mill. They're the only 2 productions that have been modded in like so, and you can place down again if you wish to. And then if we go to animals, pretty much every single animal has got a barn added in. So we've got a cow barn there, horses, there's this horse stable, pigs, there's a pigsty, and then sheep, we've got that sheep barn there, and then chickens also as well. There we go. You'll see these as we go around the farm as well. Nothing in bees or others. I think that's it. If we go to here and painting, we've got quite a few painting textures, quite a few animal muds, asphalts, concretes, as you can see, dirts, forest grounds, grass again, lots of that, gravels, quite a few gravels, rock, cobblestones, flagstones, cobblestones again, and cobblestones. So quite a lot of choice there. That's pretty cool. So there we go. That is it. Now let's show you our equipment as well, and we'll go through the slot counts. So the slot count in new farmer mode is 1211, and this is the equipment you start off with. We've got the Anderson bell collector, that's for round bells, so we can pick up our bells with that. We've got a case Puma. We've got a feed mixer for making your TMR. We've got the Flegel Ruby, which will collect a lot of things and chop sugar beet up, I think. We've got a John Deere 8R. It's quite John Deere themed, this farm, apart from the case that's been thrown in there randomly. A corn header for your harvester, a John Deere baler, that is also a bell wrapper. A header, standard header for your harvester, couple of 900 kilogram John Deere weights. There is your John Deere S7 harvester, it's a beast. We've got a Crampe trailer, we've got a planter, a couple of Karcher pressure washers, which you'll see a bit later on as we get around. We've got a seeder, a header trailer, front loader, front and rear mower, a windrower, a tedder, that's a tedder, that's a windrower, and a 10 Winkle 450 kilogram weight. That is it. We also do own a chainsaw, which you'll need to pick up to be able to use it. Just pick it up down the bottom there. For me it's square, so we will be able to use that. So that's what you start off with in new farmer mode. I sold off all that equipment, got it down to 1080, so that's up to you. If you don't want any of that equipment, you want to start on your own, if you feel like it's too much or whatnot, then by all means do that. You can sell off everything here at the farm as well also, and probably you're gonna, I haven't tested it, be able to sell off some of the buildings at the other two farms as well. So you've got the option to sort of really do what you want on this map, I think. Now if you come on here and farm manager and start from scratch, there is nothing here, no buildings, sheds, nothing. You don't start off with any equipment, you don't own the land, anything like that. Slot count is 1032, so it's not a case of the buildings are here and you know the icons aren't showing up. You just buy the land and everything, you know, becomes available to you, you can use. There is nothing here, it's a complete blank canvas, so that could be a nice way to start for some people. It's entirely up to you. Now I think that's it, that's enough of all that, so let's get going round. What I think we'll do is we'll do a bit of the tour on, or in should I say, the tractor, because we're going to go this way round. As soon as we get to the store I'm going to lease a pickup, I think, because it's just a little bit quicker, and then we'll go from there. So I think I've covered everything. Apologies if I have missed something. But anyway, farmhouse. We can use this garage. The door does open. You can go out the little door up the back there as well. We can't go in the farmhouse, but we do have a sleep trigger just there. And round the back there is a wardrobe function trigger, just like so. Moving along over here, we've got our chicken coop. So your eggs will spawn in there. Your dialogue box is just here. That will hold 308 chickens. As I said earlier, we do have some already. And your feed triggers just there, like so. And if we run around here, we do have this massive silo. I'm unaware of the capacity of this, but it is huge, so I'm hoping it is quite big as well. But you're tipping in and collecting pipe out is just there in the same sort of spot. Running up the back, this is the required mod. This is the workshop by celobuki. You can open all these doors. All of the buildings and sheds etc have got lights on. You'll probably need to find the light switch on most of them. They are normally on the wall, like over here, he says. There we go, little click. There's your workshop icon just there, and you need to be in this zone, so it should pick up those two pieces of equipment, the planter and the seeder, like so, which it does. Happy days. We'll jump in the case for now, because it is quite a big layout, this farm. It's nice, but it will take a while to get round on foot. Got a nice big bunker silo over there. It's producing silage, which is good. You're going to need that for your cows. This is our horse barn, so I'll jump out. You've got your tipping in for your feed, and I presume your straw as well. That's the only icon I can see. Your dialogue box is just here. We do have 5, like I said earlier. That will hold 16 though. We go inside, really nice building. We've got a bit of a riding area in this hall, like so. I'm assuming there's lights for in here as well. Probably is. Yeah, really nice building this. I don't think there's anything out the back. We can use all the doors like so. There we go. We do have the water tower, so we can grab water. That is free now, I believe. Pretty sure after one of the updates to the game they made that free. So you can grab that from there. Moving down, this is our sheep barn, or goats, whatever you're doing. your products are going to appear there, wool or goat's milk. Feed triggers just there. We can open this up as well if you want. But whoa, he's excited. Let's shut that up. Open the gate up. Dialogue box is just there. This will hold 171. We do have 90, like I said, mixture of goats and sheep. We will, I think we'll probably stop there actually. This is our cow barn. We do have a manure heap collection point just there. Can open all these gates and whatnot. And there's a big drive-through door just there. Cows are going to be roaming in and around this grass. They do come inside as well, like so. A little calf there. Very excited animals, aren't they? Inside here we've got the feed and straw trigger. As you can see with the field info bottom right, there is part of the meadow down there. That's not going to last long if you just leave that there. There's your dialogue box. 173 cows that will hold. Up this far end we do have a milk collection point, because the milk tank is just through into there. Now your slurry is a little bit separate, but it's very cool. Drive round this little loop like so, and there's your slurry pit, so you can collect your slurry from there like so. That's pretty smart. I like that. Part of our equipment, as you can see. I'll stay on foot, I think. Another huge shed over here with all our other bits and bobs inside. Huge pieces of equipment. I think that is it, guys. So we'll jump back in that case. There's one thing I want to show you as we drive out that I'm not 100% sure of. In fact, I will do it to show you. Just by these trees, there is a sign that says remove all main farm roads. You can go up into landscaping mode. You can delete that. You won't get anything for it, but sell it. But unless I'm being really stupid, which does happen quite often, I can't see what that's done. All these roads, I presume they mean these roads, but I don't know why. So I don't know if anyone knows what the score is with that. Please let me know, because I can't really see anything that's happening there. But anyway, we will crack on. Let's get out of the farm. Really nice map though. I do love Celobuki's maps. Do a fantastic job. And the scenery. I love all this different sort of weird and wonderful shape of the fields. There's no real square sort of straight lines in any of these fields. It's pretty cool. This is quite a long drive, so I will try and chat a little bit as we go. But as you can see, quite a long drive. And I'll tell you one thing I haven't done. We will, in fact, I'll probably do it as we're carrying on, as long as I don't crash. We do need to buy some plots of land. So we need to buy this plot here. It comes with this grass field, 33, 507,000, just over. Buy that. It's got a cow barn on there and a farmhouse. Top right, we do need to buy this farm. Comes with this field, field 10, 411,000. That's our pigsty. That's got a silo and a farmhouse, and we'll check them out as we go. Almost forgot to do that. So just over there on the right hand side, this is the other cow farm. This is quite a big cow setup as well, this one. So if we scoot in there, on the right there, that's all decoration. You can remove that and sell that if you wish to. You can get rid of that, it will disappear. First of all, on our right, we do have a little small shed there. We'll jump out. This is our cow barn. They will appear, this is quite cool, they go all the way around. Look, you can see there's some there, all the way around this side, around the front of the farmhouse, and they're all in around there as well. Really nice pasture that, I like that. There's your dialogue box. This will hold 330 cows. Sorry, we do have some already in there, I should have showed you that. 60. We've got a mixture going on. If I go into this menu, there is pigs up there as well. So this is the cow barn large. So we've got some limousines, Holsteins and brown Swifts, Swiss, all different ages. I'll quickly show you the pigs. So up at the pig farm, we've got 23-month-old piglets, which is pretty cool. Nice. Milk collection point there. Feed straw through this gap there, and I think out the back we do have a slurry collection point, just like so. Now I can't see any manure heap, so I can't remember if it gathers in there or not, but if it doesn't, you're going to need to place one down. It's not actually showing, is it, in the field info that there's manure, so you might have to place a manure heap extension down. Plenty of room though, to be fair. We do have this shed over here, which is a nice shed. It does have lights on. I think it's one of the ones, yeah, you can be stood anywhere, this one. Turn the lights on. Do have another massive shed here as well, like so. Again, does have lights on, but that one's got a light switch. And if we run round the front, we do have a farmhouse here. So again, we can use the garage, which opens up. That's nice for storing vehicles in. There is a wardrobe function there, and then round the front there is a sleep trigger. One thing I did notice though, there's the sleep trigger. This doesn't have any collision on it. Oh. Okay. When I loaded in... Oh, there we go. We are. So we're now kind of inside. Doesn't have any collision on that bit. But there we go. Right. That is the cow farm. We will head down into the town. And visit the shop, and like I say, we're going to get ourselves a pickup just so we can sort of speed up a little bit, because once we get out of town there's quite a bit of a drive to some of the other points of interest. But it is so nicely done. It was a great map in 22, and I think it's going to be even better on 25. I just love all the flags flying, the school bus. I know you get that on other maps, but it just makes it really feel like, you know, a US town to me. That's coming from someone from the UK. Very cool. Right, this is our shop, so your shop menu's just there. I don't need to click on that, but I will stop, and I'm going to get ourselves a pickup. I think we'll go for this guy. Very fitting. Keep it that colour. I'm not too fussed about that. And that will spawn round the back. We do have a bakery in front of us, so you could buy the bakery just there. You've got the spanner or the wrench. You've got where your products will appear around the back, and your loading or tipping in point is just there for the bakery. Workshop trigger around the back of the shop. The icon's just there by the back door. So customizing, selling, repairing, whatever you want to do is just there. And then your reset points out the back. Loads of room, look, for big equipment. So there's our pickup. So we will swap over. I'll quickly run over here first, because this is where the corn dryer is. So tipping in and unloading just underneath there. We can buy this for 100 grand. I'm not going to, but we know what the recipe kind of is. Just across the road here is the grain mill, so you can buy this for 288,000. Pallets going to spawn there, tipping in just over there like so. Let's jump in our pickup. Just go back up to the back of the bakery and along. We're at the back of the dairy, so just there on the left is where your pallets will spawn in. Tipping in icons just there. If I quickly just run around the front, you'll see what I mean. So this is the dairy. Dairy, look. And that's where you can buy and manage the dairy like so. Now just in under here next to the train tracks, this is the grain sale point. That is what it's called, grain sale point, like so. And this is on into the train silo, so you can dump your grains in there and send them off by a train. You can also collect them back out via the road and then tip them in there once you've called the train. The rented train point is literally there underneath our truck, like so, and that will go off and sell at the edge of the map. There is a little way station there which does work if you want us to do that, and by all means. Now if we go out onto the main street and go this way, swing the left, we do have round the back the supermarket sale point, as you can see. Across the way we have the hardware sale point, Hardware Bob. The buildings just look fantastic, they really do, I love it. And then right next to each other we've got two productions. So one on the left here, this is the pizzeria. You're tipping in there, your product's going to spawn there. And this one on the right hand side is the tailor shop, so again tipping in, your pallets are going to spawn there. If I quickly run around the front, you'll see those a little bit better. So there you go, tailor shop there. You can buy and manage the production there, and the pizzeria there, again buy and manage the production just there like so. So there's quite a lot going on in this area, and then once we get going there's not a lot left to see after that. So over the train track. Now on the right hand side we have this nice flat area. We can buy this. If I scroll to the map, it's plot 37. It's only 37,000, just over. It's nice and flat, so you could place something down there if you wanted to. Swing round this way, we do have round the back, we've got our animal dealer, and we've also got the bale sale point right next to it. Opposite us there is, I believe this was the fire station on 22. It still has the fire protection district, or was that, I think that might have been a building actually on 22, I can't remember now. Anyway, it's vacant, we can place something there. You can open these, you can use them to store machinery and bits of equipment in if you wish to. Entirely up to you, it's quite handy having that there. Bit residential going on, and if we're pulling down here, this is where those two pressure washers are. So if you've got smaller pieces of equipment, you can drive in under here, so the pickup would fit in there easy. And we can wash our vehicles. If you've got anything larger, you can come that way, or you can park either side, but just be careful because this won't go on forever. It will cut out like that if you walk too far. But that's pretty cool, I like that. Car washing station. Now across the road from there we do have a couple of things going on. First pump here, this is fuel, gas station. As you can see, I've just filled up, cost me $1. Next to that is another pump. That's where we can buy propane from, as you can see. So you can buy that. Prices will be in the price list. And then if you own the BJ and you're producing methane, this is your methane sale point just there. If you're never sure where anything is on the map, you can always tag it up, not a problem. Around the back of all that, this is the popcorn factory. So tipping in there, your products will spawn over there. We can buy this for 240,000. Very noisy in there. Quite expensive, but hopefully you'll make a decent amount of money producing popcorn. Next door to that is the ketchup factory. So again, tipping in there, products are going to spawn out the back. We can buy this for 150 grand, not too bad. Another thing I didn't show you, let's quickly show you now, is, yeah, that was, why did I didn't write that down, that should have been on my list, I do apologise. In greenhouses, if we scroll down, we do have this. It's only one size, it's the large greenhouse. There it is. Now you do need water and manure. As you can see, there is a water point and the manure box there, whatever you want to call it. But that will produce apple, pumpkin, lemons, pears, oranges and plums. And you can obviously further them on, but that's pretty cool. Right, bit of a drive now up the top of the map to the next point. We're almost done though, guys. I appreciate you sticking with me. I have waffled on a little bit. It's been a while since I've done a map tour, so I feel a little bit out of practice. Some of the ones I have missed, I am hoping to catch up on and do them, but this dropped along with Starlvies, I think you call it, yesterday, and then today another 2 have dropped, so I'm really up against it at the moment, but I'm hoping to catch up. Right, in here, this is, where's my notes? This is the Grain Elevator Museum. This is one of the old rundown buildings that you can renovate. I haven't actually done this yet on this game, 25, but it tells you in the bottom right what you're going to need for the next sort of step. So we need wood beams and planks long. I presume you need to buy the plot of land, do you, for that? I don't know. But anyway, that plot of land's only 13,000 just over. So yeah, I'm not sure if you've got to buy the land or not for that. Out of there and turn left. And then we go left again. We do have up in here our sawmill. So all your products are going to spawn in underneath that shed. There's where you can buy the sawmill. Wood chip outpoint just on the end there. You can sell your wood just around this corner here. There you go, that's your sawmill. Right, now across the map to the other corner. To the pigsty. Or the pig farm, should I say, not the pigsty. There is a pigsty there, but it's more of a farm, isn't it, than just that thing. As you can see, we do have elevations. It's not a flat map by no means. And we can knock the signs down if you hit them. That was some severe overtaking there. I was only meant to go round slightly. Bit sensitive on the old controller there. There is the pig farm over there. The white sort of buildings, grey looking buildings. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to sell off all of those buildings if you want to, but when a map's been done as well as this, I wouldn't bother messing with anything. Just leave it as is. It's a really nice map. Right, we do have two little garages here. I know it's one block, but we can open both these doors. So again, storing vehicles, equipment in there. It's not a workshop, it just is a garage, that's it. Sleep trigger at the front of the house. Around the back is another wardrobe function. As you can see, we do have a big shed down here. Massive barn. And then this is our pig sty, just there. Dialogue box is just round this side. That will hold 203 pigs in there. There's the little piglies. You can drive in. You do need to drive in because feed and straw is going to be through there. And then round the side we've got a slurry collection point. Again, no manure heap at all, so you may need to place one down, but again, loads of room for that. And then we do have another shed up the top here, like so. Different doors, you can go out the little one, you can go in this one. Lights up here again. Is that lights or is that lights? There we go, that's lights. That's the light switch. And I've shut the door. Farm silo, I presume that's the one I showed you earlier, so 400,000 litre capacity. Neither of the silos are multi-fruits, they're just standard crop types. So just one thing to note there. But tipping in, taking out just there. And we've got one more thing left to see, guys, and that is the BGA. Really, really cool map. Across the train line. And there's our BGA. Well, not ours, we don't own it. But you can own it, but it will cost you. And it will cost you 500,000. But there we go. I think we have seen everything, guys. If you were to follow that road all the way down, you can eventually sort of get back to your main farm. That is it. That is Alma, Missouri by Celobuki. Awesome map. I hope you have enjoyed the map tour, guys. If you have, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And don't forget to smash the bell so you don't miss any future videos I post. I've been Farm Sim Snowy. Stay frosty.